Joran, Casey, and psychopathic narcissism, a forensic commentary. Friday the 13th turns out to have been unlucky for murder defendant Joran van der Sloot. Today we seem to be witnessing a proliferation of psychopathic narcissism, what I perceive as pathological narcissism in extremis, as seen in recent cases like the so-called Craigslist killer Philip Markoff, Chris Coleman, the minister's son who may have murdered his wife and 2 children in their sleep, Scott Peterson, Joran van der Sloot, and Casey Anthony, now acquitted of killing her own daughter in Florida. As Joran van der Sloot's now public psychological evaluation from prison reportedly suggests, the person suffering from and cruelly causing others to suffer from psychopathic narcissism is fundamentally an immature, selfish, self-centered, resentful, and raging child inside a powerful adult body. The immense narcissism of such defendants convinces them that they can outsmart the system. If he is telling the truth, if he did kill the victim or victims in a murderous rage rather than as part of a premeditated plan or predatory behavioral pattern, then forensic evaluators would have to consider the possible presence of some other or additional mental disorder, an impulse control disorder such as intermittent explosive disorder or maybe even bipolar disorder. Indeed, Joran was, according to his mother, scheduled to enter a psychiatric clinic or hospital for treatment in the Netherlands just days before he abruptly took off instead to South America. Could Joran van der Sloot be more than merely a selfish, spoiled kid who callously covered up the accidental death of an intoxicated sexual partner in Aruba? However, there have been unsubstantiated stories that in the year before meeting Natalie Holloway, Joran, then perhaps 16, pushed a classmate through a plate glass window and was supposedly described by some who knew him as having anger management problems. It is quite possible that this was the situation for Joran van der Sloot. Tends to be repressed and fester, turning over time into toxic resentment, embitterment, and narcissistic rage. The primary difference between narcissistic and antisocial personality disorder is one of degree, differentiated largely by the relative strength or weakness of what Freud called superego, as well as by the severity, type, or intensity of past narcissistic wounding. Psychoanalyst Otto Kernberg, 1992, describes certain destructively aggressive antisocial patients as suffering from malignant narcissism, which is akin to what I am here calling psychopathic narcissism. And many observers feel equally queasy about Casey Anthony's newfound freedom.